Dale Carnegie was worth about $3 million, which is over $36 million today, and he achieved such wealth all thanks to self-help. He was the first person to turn simple life advice into a global empire. He grew up poor but proved that teaching people how to talk and lead was a goldmine. He built a business by sharing practical tips that anyone could use to succeed in the real world. However, as the modern self-help business grew, it started to sell health. Once the internet opened up access, the barriers vanished. It got to the point where anyone could act like a guru, build a following, and sell a personal vision of success. Guidance used to stay in books and on stages. Now, the internet is an open market where you only need people to watch you to be a leader. The business grew because the need for help is constant. In difficult moments, people look for answers. They're often willing to pay for information that offers an escape, even when those claims are not accurate. The cycle never stopped. It just took on a new look. Even as the format changed, the core structure stayed the same. Books became live events, and those events became digital files that anyone could watch. Motivational speakers shared ideas about winning and mindset with massive crowds. This message eventually reached TV and streaming platforms, making it possible to listen without being there in person. While the message became easier to find, it also became easier to mass produce without being questioned. People were getting life-changing answers from strangers they had never met. Self-help started to feel like a system to rely on, even without proof, and that changed how everyone viewed it. When the internet fully took over, that effect multiplied. Blogs and early online content started as simple spaces where people shared personal experiences and lessons from their own lives. It was mostly individuals sharing stories and insights from their own experiences. At first, it still felt real, but once people realized that attention could be turned into income, you no longer needed credentials, inventory, or an office. You needed content and the ability to capture attention. That is when self-help moved from sharing ideas to selling systems. One of the biggest drivers was the idea that work and income could be redesigned entirely. The 4-hour work week. It introduced the concept of lifestyle design where work was used to support freedom. That idea was powerful because it gave people something they already wanted, a way out. But it also introduced a new assumption that success could be simplified into a system that anyone could follow. Create content, build trust, and sell a product or service to your audience. Personal brands grew around that structure, and the line between helping and selling started to blur. Advice started being sold as a complete solution. That's where things start to go wrong. When advice is presented as a system, people stop questioning it. They follow it as if it has already been proven. They expect results because they're shown results. But the person giving that advice is not always operating from real experience. Many are still learning as they go, even while they're already seen as experts. This creates a gap. People start trusting the message without checking it first. Once that happens, it's no longer just information being shared. It's behavior being shaped. It starts changing how people act. As self-help grew online, parts of it moved away from simple habits and discipline. It started selling bigger promises, faster systems, and shortcuts that made personal success look almost unlimited. The law of attraction became one of the clearest examples. The idea sounded simple. Think positive, believe hard enough, and life will give you results. The Secret helped popularize that message by presenting the law of attraction as a powerful rule behind success, health, money, and relationships. That made the idea easy to trust, even though the logic was thin. The systems taught that thoughts do not just affect your mood, they shape what happens in your life. It made complicated problems look simple, personal, and predictable. And that's where the trap appears. If the system works, the guru gets the credit. But if it fails, the follower takes the blame. They're told they didn't believe hard enough or that they stopped the results with their own bad thoughts. The guru makes it seem like the person is the only thing standing in the way of success. That makes the advice very hard to question. Instead of looking at real problems, money, illness, trauma, or life limits, people can end up blaming their own mind for not thinking the right way. Critics have pointed out that this kind of thinking can slide into toxic positivity and victim blaming. At first, that kind of message was mostly about mindset, but over time, online self-help mixed more deeply with productivity, lifestyle, and wellness culture. That is where the risk became more serious, because once gurus started making health promises, the advice was no longer just about motivation. It could shape what people believed about their bodies, their symptoms, and their medical choices. And when unproven health advice spreads online, real people can get hurt. One clear example is Belle Gibson. She built a large following by claiming she had cancer and was managing it through diet, wellness routines, and alternative treatments. People trusted her because the story felt personal and real. Some looked at her posts as health guidance, not just inspiration. She turned that story into a brand. She released the Whole Pantry app, published a cookbook, and became one of the faces of online wellness. The reality was far different from the image she sold. Australian regulators took legal action, and the court found she had no reasonable basis to believe she had cancer. She was fined for misleading conduct connected to her claims. Joe Dispenza shows a different side of the industry. He teaches that changing how you think can change your physical health. Meditation itself is not the issue. The danger comes when recovery stories are used to make belief look like a medical cure. His own site features stories described as miraculous healings and personal transformations, including stories involving serious illness. Critics argue that he uses scientific language in a way that can make his ideas sound more proven than they really are. The medical medium shows another version of the same problem. Anthony William built a health brand around food-based healing claims, especially celery juice. His own site presents pure celery juice on an empty stomach as a major tool for recovering health. But medical groups have pushed back on claims that celery juice cures chronic conditions. Celery itself is fine. The real risk is when one food is sold as a powerful answer for complicated illnesses. Even his own site includes a disclaimer saying he's not a licensed medical doctor or licensed healthcare provider, and that people should consult a licensed practitioner before changing treatment, medication, or care. Elizabeth Holmes shows how the same kind of health promise can appear in the tech world too. She was not a wellness influencer. She was the founder and CEO of Theranos, a blood testing company that claimed it could change medicine. The company said it could run many medical tests using only a tiny blood sample, instead of the larger blood draws people usually get at clinics. That promise was powerful because it sounded simple, futuristic, and life-changing. Holmes claimed one invention could make medical testing faster, easier, and more accessible. And for a while, people believed it. Theranos attracted major investors, media attention, and trust from the public, but the technology did not work as promised, and Holmes was later convicted of fraud connected to investors. Many of these claims are presented as natural, traditional, or ancestral, which makes them feel safer than medical treatment. But natural does not always mean safe. Some remedies can interfere with medications, cause side effects, or delay proper treatment. In some cases, detoxing the body can lead to dehydration. Many products and routines are built around removing toxins through juices, teas, or supplements. It sounds simple, and that's what makes it convincing. But the body already has systems that handle this through the liver and kidneys. Many of these products do not have to follow the same rules as a real medicine. Companies can sell these pills without proving they even work. This means people are trusting what a label says instead of actual proof. This business model follows a clear path. It starts with a huge promise. They offer a better body, a better mind, or a better life. They describe a way out of the problems that make you feel stuck. The website quickly builds pressure. It tells you to join now because spots are limited. It says the price will go up. The answer is right in front of you, but only if you act fast. This approach works best when people are at their lowest point. It targets those who are tired, sick, broke, or lonely. The product looks like one piece missing that will finally fix everything. The cost can be massive. The FTC warned about coaching schemes that charged thousands of dollars for programs that did not deliver. In one case, business coaching cost up to $13,995. Most gurus use personal stories instead of actual proof. The guru says it worked for them. The page shows people say it changed their lives. But a story is not the same as evidence. Regulators warn that fake or misleading stories can make products look more trustworthy than they really are. When the results do not show up, the system protects itself. The advice does not fail, you fail. They say you did not believe hard enough or you didn't commit enough. They tell you that you had the wrong mindset or stopped too early. And to fix it, you're told to buy the next book or the next program. This creates a cycle that is so hard to break. People treat this like a cure for every problem instead of just basic guidance. Watching a video starts to feel like progress. Saving a quote feels like taking action. Buying a course feels like a big first step. But nothing has been built yet because the person still feels stuck. And the next promise becomes even easier to believe. The sales system for self-help was already built by the time social media took over. It just needed a personality to lead it. Andrew Tate fit this role perfectly. Many young men online were looking for direction and someone who spoke with certainty. Tate gave them exactly that. He spoke fast and with total confidence. His short clips left no time to stop and check his claims. He sold a clear path. Follow his lead, make money, and stop being weak. However, the business went deeper than just giving advice. His old Hustlers University program used an affiliate model. Members earned money for signing up new people. Reporting showed members were told to post his clips online and use controversy to grab attention. This turned the audience into a marketing team. They didn't just watch the content, they helped it grow. Reposts and heated comment sections acted as free ads that kept the machine moving. This model grew through emotion and recruitment rather than proven results. It works by reaching people who feel lost or ignored. That formula builds a fast following, but it can make people dependent. Followers start looking to one person for answers on everything from money to dating. One person cannot be an expert on every different side of life. As this style spread, others copied the formula. Some were experienced, while others had no proof for their claims. The pattern became common. Show a flashy lifestyle, sell a course, and tell the audience that failing means they didn't try hard enough. Eventually, a gap appeared. While some people improved, many others stayed stuck despite following every rule. This created frustration because the system was sold as a perfect solution for everyone. It's part of why trust in self-help is dropping. The pattern is always the same: massive claims and expensive programs that don't always deliver. Today, people are more careful. A 2026 survey showed that while teens use influencers for info, very few fully trust what they say. But the risk is still there because the platforms and the incentives haven't changed. As long as the world rewards confidence over proof, a new guru can always appear with a fresh face and the same old promises. Self-help isn't the problem. There is real value in it. It gets dangerous when people treat a single system like a perfect answer for everything. If you believe one person has every solution, you might ignore the parts that don't make sense. Pause before you follow advice online. Ask yourself if the claim actually makes sense or if it just sounds good. Not everything sold as improvement is actually helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe or you'll have to drink celery juice for the rest of your life.